old school again. So
Yep.
I got this shit recording. We just don't have a good internet connection between each other from where you live and
No.
where I live.
Yeah.
So
It's been a recurring problem.
hopefully when you move,
Yeah.
you'll have like bomb ass internet, and then maybe we'll work better together. Because my internet's not that great either over here.
Please, Lord, I want bomb ass internet.
So we're not gonna start over again.
No.
I'm not playing that game. The episode starts right now. People are gonna not understand what we talked about for the last 10 minutes, but the podcast is back. We've been gone for about 4 weeks. It's irregular. We're talking about what we've been checking up on. I'm Jason. That's Zach. I'm sick.
Hi,
I,
it's me.
I have a cold. Zach saw it at Astra. He said Interstellar is better. Zach
Yes.
watched RoboCop 1. I asked him if he watched 2 and 3. He said no. He should have watched at least 2 because 2 I think is also really fun. 1's still better,
Okay.
but 2 is really fun. 3 is garbage, but that's fine. HBO has all 3 of them. Now we're talking about some anime with a guy with a gun for a head. Why is his head a gun?
So, the head is a gun because goddamn, you cut up all that shit. So I posted the link to the list to the site. But basically, his head is a gun because he's an ex-soldier, and in this war they did like experiments on their soldiers and stuff like that. And this world is with a bunch of augments and stuff like that. And he's like an uber augment or whatever. And so that's why his head's a gun, because most other people have like, like smaller augments, stuff like one of the main bad chicks in the show. She's got like eye shit, and so she's a really good like sniper and shooter and that kind of shit. So he doesn't know why his head's a gun. He lost his memories, and so part of the show is him being a detective and also him trying to figure out who he was in this past life and like why he has a gun for a head and all this other shit. It's got good animation though. The animation on it, especially in like his reaction faces, reminds me a lot of like the reaction faces for like Alphonse in Brotherhood. Like it's that kind of like you wouldn't think you'd have that much characterization with a gun for a head, but they find a ways to make it work. So
Does the gun shoot?
it does, but he has to have somebody else pull the trigger.
How does he load bullets?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
But he also has a gun like wrist thing that he like. It doesn't really show him loading bullets. He just like spins it around and like cocks it. I don't know. It's very strange.
Anime.
It looks badass as fuck, but
Right. Oh, okay. I might look at it. Check it out.
yeah.
What
So
else have you been looking at? Checking out?
so those are the
Playing?
big things. My Hero Academia is coming out this tomorrow, I think, today or tomorrow, something like that. And then what was it? I'm trying to think of. There was. I feel like there was one other big show that I was like watching that I like wanted to tell you about, but now I can't remember. Um, no, I'm still plugging through Vinland Saga. That's dope. Oh, I wanted to try out. Oh, this is the thing that I wanted to tell you about. So there's another show that I think you would actually want to watch because it's an isekai show, but it's about a pro wrestler who gets
Okay.
transported into another world. He's like a king character. He's like all about the animals and stuff like that. So he gets transported in the other world, and his whole goal is that because he loves animals, he wants to open a pet shop with all the different like demon beasts and shit like that. And so it's all about him like befriending these beasts and like opening a pet shop and shit like that. It's really funny.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called, the Japanese name is Hatage Kemono Michi.
Okay. I think I see it. Autofilled.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's really funny. I'm enjoying it so far. It's only like 2 episodes in. But it's about pro wrestler. So I was like, that's all I need.
Some of these the beasts are girls.
Yeah, there's Beast Girls in it, yeah.
All right, Zach.
Well, he's an animal
All
lover.
right,
Has
man.
he surrounds himself with Beast Girls.
All right, man. This is like that fucking Monster Girl show that everyone seemed to love like
not
years ago.
not not quite that bad.
All right. I mean, I'll look at a PV for it or something. I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll see how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You've been anything else? Any other anime?
Not much else I've been watching. I've been playing a few things. I played more Judgment. That's fun.
Right.
I started. So I went on the plane to Orlando to get the Orlando job, and with it I brought my Vita, and so I started playing.
I forget
Dangan.
first off. I forget you have a Vita. Why do you have a Vita?
Yeah, yeah. I bought one from like a Facebook Marketplace for like 150
But
bucks or
no
something.
Switch.
No Switch. Well,
That's
I bought this like
fucking stupid.
I bought it like 2 or 3 years before the Switch. I've had it for a
You
while.
should buy a Switch Lite.
I was thinking about it. Well, now if I get this new job, I'll probably buy a Switch. So,
Yeah.
but so I've got that, and so I started playing Danganronpa, um, the Trigger Happy Panic or whatever. It's like the light novel ish, the detective game. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Um, I like all the different characters. I like the detective aspect to it. I like the whodunit crimes and all that stuff. So I'm excited to play more of that game. It's a lot of fun so far. I'm only like an hour or 2 hours into it, so not too far yet. But
I've never seen gameplay of that game. I've heard the name 1,000 times. I've never
yeah,
seen gameplay of the game.
it's a
I
pretty point and click adventure for the most part.
Okay, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I know it's really popular. I just never had any desire to check it out. I thought it was
yeah.
Assassination Classroom, but I've never seen that either, so I have no idea.
It's I think the art style is similar, but I don't think the
Story.
the stories, yeah, the stories are
Gotcha.
very different.
Now, also, again, I have never seen either one, so I just thought they were
Yeah,
the same fucking thing.
yeah.
I know one of them has a guy with a yellow head.
That's Assassination Classroom.
Okay, okay.
The
Danganronpa is
Danganronpa is the bear with the black and white
that.
bear. Yeah,
You could, yeah, both have stupid ass mascots. Gotcha. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Well, if you're done with
yeah.
what
That's
you've been checking
basically
out,
it for my rundown of stuff.
and my list is pretty short as hell too, because I haven't really been watching much this past week. But the past weeks that we've been gone, I've been checking stuff out, but not enough for me
Yeah,
to like talk about in super depth.
right.
Um, First thing, I'm only gonna mention a couple things. 'Cause one of them is kind of gonna probably be a few minute of a rant, and that's kind of what I'm known for. But since
Okay.
I'm also sick, it doubles up. Um, I saw Godzilla. I told you that. I texted you after I watched it. Um, Dude, if I lost you again, Zach, I'm gonna be so pissed. Okay, we're back.
The King of the Monsters.
Yeah, for a second,
Okay, go
I
ahead.
lost you for a second on connection. I was about to be so pissed.
Ouch.
Yeah,
So you watched King of the Monsters?
I watched King of Monsters. Great movie. That movie's fun as hell.
Okay.
That movie is
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a great movie.
the movie is really fun. All of the human story, don't care, don't need it.
No, but that monster action is dope as shit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't need. Now, I'll tell you what, man. Spoiler alert for Godzilla. I kind of got bummed out when what's his name died, man.
Which Ghidorah?
No, when the Asian guy died.
Oh yeah, Watanabe, dude. Yeah, that was pretty fucking
When
sad.
he was like
That's the only like
he like rubbed
recurring
God's
character that
yeah
they've had.
he like rubbed Godzilla's leg or some shit.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I hope Godzilla know what he did for him, man.
yeah,
But
yeah. That was a pretty big bummer, dude.
other than that, it was a fun movie. I think that Billy Bobby Brown's character was irrelevant. I think that her mom's character
All
was
the
relevant.
yeah, the mama, the fucking dude from Friday Night Lights was
No,
irrelevant. I
see,
don't remember what his name.
I liked that bit. I didn't
Yeah,
mind the storyline of like the son is dead, so the family breaks apart. But the whole idea of like the mom not realizing the terrorists want to destroy that's stupid. They're monsters. Now, also, I didn't
yeah,
know. I'm not a Godzilla fan, so I don't know a lot about Godzilla. I didn't know that Ghidorah was an alien.
yeah, yeah. No, it's weird. As there's a lot of alien monsters in Godzilla.
And I feel like that. And also, real quick, I'm like, very excited for the next movie. But
Yeah,
how is King Kong gonna beat Godzilla?
I have no idea. I have no idea, dude. I
Literally,
honestly don't want him to because I love Godzilla way more than King Kong. So I hope he just like fucking trounces on King Kong. But I have
I
no
feel like
idea.
they're two separate. Like I don't. Here's my thing, man. I feel like they're two
Well, they
separate
had to
things.
beef up King Kong for the movie because and the original King Kong is like way fucking smaller than fucking Godzilla. Godzilla's so much
Yeah,
fucking bigger in this universe.
but I feel like also like Godzilla is radiation. Also, he is like lightning beam based.
Yeah,
He's also uh uh King Kong is like here's what I'm saying, okay. Godzilla exists in the planet. All these other ass monsters live there.
right.
King Kong only lives in one part of the world with other monsters. They're two different
Yeah,
ecosystems. I don't know why would they ever interact with each other. And like King Kong has no weaponry, no other ability except for fists.
yeah.
So
That's
there's
all
not
he's got.
how's he gonna win?
He knows how to use the stick, I think, because he like picks up like logs and stuff like that, and is like, so he's got that. But I mean, that's not gonna work against Godzilla.
Now, look, I get it. He killed a T-Rex.
Yeah,
I guess Godzilla's kinda a T-Rex. Kinda, but like
kind
he
of.
can't like. Now, if we see like fucking like, if King Kong like has like fire hands, like a fucking
Ooh, they're pretty
like a
dope.
Pokemon, like he like charges up his fists and they become like fire hands. Then like I mean, okay, give him powers, I guess.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
got
don't
to have
know.
something, dude.
Well, I guess maybe since from 2000, maybe from 1970 Vietnam or whatever to like whenever this movie takes place, he gets like the ability to like I don't know
Do something.
do a Digivolution or something. But I watched that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to watch every Daniel Craig James Bond movie
Okay.
in a row, like back to back.
I still haven't seen Spectre yet. I need to.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Sorry, I'm sick, so my mouth is like super dry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Quantum of Solace is still the worst one.
Yeah.
But after rewatching it, I don't hate it. It's fine.
Yeah, I remember rewatching it a couple years ago, and it was like it wasn't like it's not like the worst movie I've ever seen. I think it's just after the high of Casino Royale and like how great of a movie that was, to go to like a mediocre Quantum of Solace was like kind of a letdown.
100%. And then going right from that into Skyfall.
Yeah.
Skyfall's a lot of fun, and Spectre is less fun than Skyfall. So to me, it's like every other movie. Like it's like all the
Yeah.
odd ones are good, all the even ones I'm like,
Which is
okay.
great for Kerry Fukunaga because he's got the next one.
Well, you have to say his name right. It's Kerry Joji
Oh, Joji.
Fukunaga. He's leaning in hard to the
That's true.
Japanese. The whitest
is.
Asian guy. I've said it 1,000 times on this podcast. I'll keep saying it. The whitest Asian guy is
Yeah.
leaning so hard into the Asian name.
Yeah, he is.
Yo, I get it, man. I get it. Get the money. So I watched those. Those were fun. The last thing I want to talk about, something that I didn't. I'm not even gonna say I watched it.
Okay.
So I started watching it. I was so annoyed that I had
Okay.
to skim through the rest of the movie.
Okay.
Lion King,
Which one? The new one?
the new one.
Oh yeah, no, that's annoying.
This movie
Movie's not that good.
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
First off,
Well, it's like
there's no
it's the. Yeah. No, go ahead.
there is no life to this movie. The animation, there is no life to the characters. There's no life in the eyes. There's no good acting in the movie. The songs all sound bad. None of the characters sound good, and what makes the movie, the cartoon, so good that it was supposed to be, there's like life in the animations, because it's a cartoon. There is none of that, because you have to be anatomically correct in the movie, because it's supposed to be live action. So none of it makes sense. When Scar is talking to Mufasa and he's mad, there's no emotion in the face, because it's a fucking real life cat. But in the cartoon, you can have it be all contorted and squeeze and squish and all this stuff because it's an animated movie.
Yeah.
So there's life to it. The live action movie, I'm skimming through it because I watched the first 30 minutes. I was so fucking bored.
Yeah.
Whether it's shot for shot, scene for scene, whatever the fuck it is, it's fucking boring. It's
Yeah.
dry. Fucking what's his name? HBO guy can't act.
HBO guy.
Zazu, John Oliver.
Oh, John Oliver. Yeah.
Can't
no, he's
act.
terrible.
The
He was the
only
worst.
redeeming part of this movie, and it's not even redeeming, was Timon and Pumbaa, and that they weren't even good.
Yeah.
They were just.
I mean, they were
okay.
definitely the best parts of the movie, but like, that movie, it doesn't help that movie at all. Lion King for me, it has. I think we might have talked about this a little bit when I saw The Lion King, but it encapsulates for me the problem with these Disney remakes, which is that they're always inferior to what they're remaking. Because every time I come out of one of these movies, I always think, why would I not just go watch the original? Because the original is so much better. It's the same thing I had with Aladdin of like, why would I not just go watch like the cartoon Aladdin? Because that's just a superior. It's a superior movie. Plus, Robin Williams is a better genie than Will Smith. Will Smith did the best that he could, but he's not as good as Robin Williams. And the fact that like, I'm sorry, but like that comparison is there, and he doesn't match up to for me at least. And so why would I not just watch the animated version because I like that one better?
100%. And now the thing about Aladdin, which I think we talked about Aladdin, I
Hmm.
thought it was fine,
Yeah,
but since the character of Genie can be outlandish because it's a
yeah,
genie, so you could add in some of the flair there, which they definitely tried to, but
yeah,
you can't do that to lions because it's a fucking
right,
animal. So you see like Simba like as a cub like walking up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? The scene
yeah,
seems slow. When Mufasa gets killed, there is like no drama to it because it's like a
no,
slow cat fall off a cliff. The attack of like Scar's smack. I'm like, this. There's no
yeah,
impact. There's no impact. There's no life to this animation. It's not saying that the CG models look bad because they look great,
yeah,
but that's the problem. They look great because they look like they're real cats.
yeah,
You know, I saw a lion this past weekend when I was in Greenville for the wedding. It looked like that. But I
yeah,
don't imagine that lion getting up and talking about the fucking sky ghosts
yeah.
or whatever. So
Talking about no circle of life.
right. So I think the movie is. We've talked about this 1,000 times in this podcast. I really don't think this was the movie that needed to be done. You
Yeah,
know, like if this is what they're gonna do with like Little Mermaid,
yeah,
problem. It has to be like if you're gonna do Lion King, it had to have been like the way they animated the teacups and shit in Beauty
yeah.
and the Beast. Make it
You've
to
got to give
where
it more emotion than that, especially in a movie
right.
like Lion King where it's all just animation.
Exactly. You know, and like
Because at least with Aladdin or Beauty and Beast, you can like fall back on like just like the human characters and helping them like give context to whatever's going on. But in Lion King, it's literally just animals that are CG animated. And yeah, if you if the main thing of if the main characters in your movie can't show any emotion, then like how am I supposed to connect with that as an audience member?
it 100%. So I watched the first half hour, kind of got bored about it, so I was skimming through the rest to get to the end, even though I knew every beat of it because I've seen the first movie
Yeah,
1,000 times. So that's why I wanted to say, man, and this movie is really just not necessary.
yeah,
You know,
100%.
other than that, I started watching Gundam Thunderbolt.
Oh shit, I wanted to watch that. You liking it?
I watched. So I was confused because I started watching as OVAs originally or ONAs or
Right.
whatever. But then
Something like
I
that,
read
yeah.
a Reddit saying like, "Hey, they made these into movies, so watch the movies because you get more information." So I started watching the movies after I watched the first episode. It's animated beautifully. I love Gundam. Obviously, we know
Yeah.
that you like Gundam. Um, the characters are cool, but I got bored of it for a second, so I went back to rereading the origin. So that's
Mm.
where I'm at right now. But it's
Okay.
not bad though. I like it, but it takes place concurrently with 0079, like the original series.
Oh
So
wow.
I,
Okay.
so I was like, yeah. I mean, I could watch Thunderbolt or just go back and read Origin and then go and then rewatch Thunderbolt.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
I
I
didn't know
watched,
it took place at the same time as 0079. Okay.
yeah, and I also rewatched the first episode of Unicorn to see if
Love
I
you.
if I liked it because I told you before I don't love Unicorn. Um,
Yeah.
it's a little not. It's not
I mostly
Gundam.
like that mech. I like the unicorn mech. I think it's badass.
See, I'm the
The
opposite.
character, the character of the pilot. I don't know. I don't really. He was kind of eh. I do like what's his face though. The Char look-alike.
Yeah,
They imply he's Char, but he's not Char. I don't know.
he's
But
too
he
old.
was a
He's
cool
too young
character.
to
I
be
liked
Shar.
him.
Yeah, he's too young.
Yeah.
Um, so that's all I've been doing. Let's go ahead and dive into the hot news of the week that we've kind of gathered over the
Yes.
past couple weeks.
Let's do
I
it.
will do my best not to lose my voice. I'm having to like swallow every 3 seconds because my mouth is so dry from Mucinex.
Yeah. I
So
feel you, dude.
Zach, what's the thing you want to hit? We have a lot of fucking Star Wars news.
We got a lot of Star Wars news. So I think one of the biggest things is I want to hit this Freddie Prinze Jr. rant because this shit pissed me off when I watched it.
Yes,
Did
yes.
you watch it?
I did. I read this transcripts.
Okay. What a fucking piece of shit. And I liked Freddie Prinze Jr. too, but after this, I'm like, you're such a fucking asshole, dude. The whole time he's just like this entitled. He is what he is basically complaining about in this rant, which is he's just an entitled fucking fan who thinks that he's right no matter what. All his shit, he's like, George told me this, and I was like, fuck you, dude. I know the fucking Star Wars lore. You don't even know what the fuck. Like half your shit doesn't even make fucking sense.
Well, from the transcripts that I read, where he's essentially saying like Luke's a Disney princess, all this stuff like that. And
Yeah,
fans are just mad because Han gave the Millennium Falcon to a girl.
yeah,
Look, if you think that people are mad because Han gave the Millennium Falcon to a girl, you don't know why people are mad.
yeah,
You have no idea why people are mad about these movies. People are
yeah,
mad because Last Jedi sucked.
yeah.
People are mad
Terrible
because
movie
Force
that did
Awakens was
nothing.
just New Hope. People are
Yeah,
mad because they expected quality and didn't get that.
yeah.
That's why people are mad. Not
They got
because
shit that was just pushed into theaters because Disney knew they could make money off Star Wars.
right. People are mad because Finn's a better character than Rey, but Rey is the main character. People are mad
And Finn
because
also
that.
does nothing.
Right. People are mad because Oscar Isaac's character, who's a fantastic actor, spent the last movie doing nothing.
Yeah, looking like a bitch. That's what he ended up
People
looking
are
like.
mad because in the last movie, Rose said, "You know what? Let's just love.
Yeah,
That's it. Let's just love." And then people just die.
yeah.
That's how we're going to win this war.
As things are exploding around here, she says that all we need to do is love.
No, people are mad because they waited 30 years for Luke Skywalker to come back, and he instead he decides to kill his nephew and then just
Yeah,
quit being a Jedi. That's why
yeah,
people are mad because that
yeah,
makes no sense. Not
yeah.
because the Millennium Falcon went to a girl. People are mad about that. That's like when people were saying that people are mad because Finn was a black stormtrooper. Who? No one gave a fuck that he's a black stormtrooper.
Yeah.
I think if anyone was confused, those people don't realize that the people kept thinking that they're not clones anymore.
Yeah. I think
You
those are
know,
people, yeah, who are confused with the original trilogy and the cloning and all that kind of shit. But I think there was that shit, and then he was talking about the shit where it was like, he was trying to explain, like, the overarching story and, like, the way that the Force works and that kind of shit. And I was like, yeah, I get that. But he was, like, he was trying to mix the way that people felt about the prequels to the way that people felt about the new movies. And he was like trying to equate those two things, and I was like, you're equating two different things. Like he was trying to explain like the way that George Lucas set up the corruption of Anakin and stuff like that to like Rey and all that other type of shit. And I was like, that's not even the same thing because the prequels were actually done by George Lucas. These last two movies have no input from George Lucas whatsoever. They're not even in from for all I'm concerned, these aren't even in the same fucking universe.
well, I don't understand how Freddie Prinze Jr. can be so unsure about this because I like the guy.
Yeah,
Bob Iger wrote in his book that George
yeah,
Lucas felt betrayed that they didn't use his stories.
yeah,
That's another piece of news from Bob Iger's
yeah,
biography that he wrote himself.
yeah,
Those are called autobiographies.
yeah,
He says like George felt betrayed at their meetings. They're talking about the plot lines where he's like, "That's not my story." So
yeah,
why are we acting like? And people hate the prequels.
yeah,
People constantly shit on the prequels. So why are we? How come I can't shit on the Last Jedi?
yeah,
Because I'll be the first to admit that I don't necessarily think that the prequels are great movies because they're not. I enjoy them
yeah,
for what they are because they build. The prequels have a good, distinct Star Wars like taste.
yeah,
I mean that like you watch 4, 5, and 6, it feels run down. It feels oppressive. It feels like the Empire is in control. That's what
mm-hmm.
they show you, these rundown places, these rundown planets, and then you go to the prequels, and they show you that there's like money and glory
Mm-hmm.
and shine and like it shows you that there's something like it was nice and now we're run
Yeah,
down. So in the atmosphere, the environments, George Lucas I think crushed it.
yeah,
You see like Coruscant, like that looks fucking amazing. You see the giant temples, that looks freaking awesome.
yeah,
It's the stories that don't necessarily like the actual plot line that doesn't really necessarily work. which we'll
Yeah.
talk about later because we're obviously doing Star Wars today.
Right.
Um, no, so yeah, I don't like these comments. I mean, again, everyone has their own opinion. Who fucking gives a shit? But
Yeah.
I can have my opinion that Last Jedi is a piece of shit movie.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I wanted to hit on Onward real quick.
Okay.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did watch the trailer.
So I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she goes, "I don't think it looks good." And
I thought it looked
my response was
okay.
this, Zach. My response was this to her,
Hmm.
because this movie's not for you. This
Yeah, no, it's
movie
definitely
is
not.
for fucking people like me who want to listen to Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
This is a urban fantasy with trolls
Yeah.
and dragons and heavy metal. And if Pixar could have, they would have put Heaven and Hell or Dio in that movie instead of what they could have.
Yeah.
This is for a Hesher. This is for Jack
Yeah.
Black. Now
Yeah,
this
I was about to
that
say this is fucking Tenacious D, the animated movie.
exactly. So for people, I think it's gonna be Pixar's worst movie in terms of like money,
Yeah.
but I think it's gonna be my favorite one.
I'm definitely excited about it. I mean, I wasn't sure how to. I mean, I was definitely into it with that first like teaser trailer or whatever that they did a couple months ago. But like seeing the overall story and like the Weekend at Bernie shit with like the fact that their dad, they only summon like half their dad and that kind of shit. And like, no, yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be an interesting movie. I'm an interesting ride for sure. I'm definitely there for it.
Also, obviously the two main characters are
Yeah,
good actors, obviously.
yeah. I mean, you got the two of the biggest names in Hollywood right now, Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. So
So the Onward, I think, looks really fun.
yeah,
Um, Jungle Cruise.
I watched this as well.
How do you
Um,
feel?
I don't know. I mean, it's cool because it's
Excuse me.
like original. It's an original concept. I mean, it's based off the Disney ride, but I mean, it's still like an original story. I haven't seen anything on like the Jungle Cruise before, so that's interesting. I like Emily Blunt. I think she looks fine in it. The Rock is just. I'm gonna say he's not just The Rock. It feels like he's actually like playing kind of a character, which is a different take. So I'm interested in that. But overall, I don't know. I mean, that I was into it until they showed that last like 10 seconds of the movie where they like showed the villain and it was like some weird CGI mess, and I was like, that gave me like pause. But everything else was fine. I mean, Emily Blunt and The Rock seem like they have like decent chemistry, which is nice. So, I mean, I'm interested in it.
I am 150% on board this
Yeah,
Jungle Cruise.
yeah.
Now, here's why I say that.
All aboard.
I loved Tomorrowland. I love
I actually
Tomorrowland.
didn't watch that.
I was
You
so
liked it?
excited. If you remember, if you can pull up this podcast like from like 5 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, I think I remember when we originally talked about it, that
I
first trailer came out.
have been hyped for this. I was hyped for Tomorrowland every time we saw a picture for it.
Mm-hmm.
It came out. It was Brad Bird, the guy who did The Incredibles,
Mm-hmm.
and Mission Impossible. I think he did. I think he did.
Did he do both Ghost Protocol?
I think he did Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Um, so when it came out, it massively underperformed.
Yeah.
People didn't like it. I watched it and I fucking loved it, man. It was such a fun '90s kid adventure movie that they don't make anymore. It
Yeah.
was literally a fun adventure movie. And I thought it was a really great movie, and people didn't perform well. So that was really one of the things that kind of put like a stake in the whole Disney live action films. And it's been a long time since this is the first one they've done since then.
Yeah.
And it's based on a ride. It's not based on anything. And I
Hmm.
think it looks like a lot of fun, but people are have to go into it knowing that it's gonna be just a surface level fun time movie. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be, fucking The Irishman. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like it's gonna be a fun, stupid movie. Um, with that being said, if they make Haunted Mansion the movie,
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna watch it. If they
I'm gonna
make
watch Haunted Mansion the movie.
Space Mountain the movie, I'm gonna watch it.
Dude, I'm down for that. I want to see some cool kid adventure space stuff. Some Zathura ass shit.
Right.
I'd be glad to see that.
So I'm into it. I mean, I love The Rock. I love Emily Blunt. I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. I'm down. So
Yeah, it's got a very much like the Mummy, Indiana Jones kid type of vibe. So, I mean, I
Yeah,
said the same thing. I haven't seen it yet, but we said the same thing when we saw the previews for Dora, where it's like, I mean, that's like that hits our funny bone, dude. So,
exactly, exactly. What else? What next did you want to hit, man?
so I think the next thing I kind of wanted to hit was, I think there was one thing in particular that I was interested in. Hold on, let me pull up my list real quick. Let's see here. Oh, so this is kind of a thing. So, I guess Jared Leto was upset over the Joker. I don't know. Cry me a river. Sad.
I don't care because his Joker sucked.
Yeah, his Joker was lame. I don't know why. I don't. It's very strange. First of all, I feel like this was a rehatching because I feel like when that first thing came out that they were like even making a Joker movie without Jared Leto, I felt like we were seeing articles that was like Jared Leto's upset that he's not in the Joker movie, and now it's like 2 years later and the movie comes out and I'm seeing like this. I feel like I've already seen these article titles before, so I don't understand it. But
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, I got a text.
I don't know. His Joker sucked. Suicide Squad sucked. I haven't seen the Joker yet, but everything that I've heard about it makes me think that it's an infinitely better movie than anything that Jared Leto would have done with his Joker. So I don't really care what he thinks, but
Yeah, and his and Jared Leto's portrayal was so he was such a stupid person on set apparently,
yeah,
and then the portrayal of the character was bad. Like it wasn't even a good
yeah,
portrayal. So who cares what he thinks?
yeah,
You had your shot. It was whatever.
yeah.
And he could still be in freaking what's it called?
Suicide Squad 2 or whatever.
Yeah, or he could show up in Birds of Prey.
Oh yeah, yeah. He probably
They
still could.
because they mention him in the trailer.
Yeah,
It's not going to be Joaquin Phoenix. It's going to have to be Jared
yeah,
Leto because just timeline wise, it makes no sense for like I haven't seen Joker, but I was reading some plot lines of it. Apparently, they show Bruce Wayne's parents getting shot in the movie,
yeah,
so there's no way that could be the same Joker because it's two
yeah.
different
Because in
universes,
Suicide
obviously.
Squad, fucking Batman shows up. So yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. So he can calm himself down. He's just mad. He's just butthurt because people look at his portrayal of it and went and are giving it praise and vitriol, obviously
Yeah,
because of all the drama behind that movie.
right.
Um, yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, hot topic, dude. A hot topic.
A good store. Um, I want to talk about the fact that there's a new Witcher trailer coming out soon.
I didn't watch. So I did. I just saw this when we were booting up. I thought this movie. I thought this show was supposed to be coming out pretty soon.
I have no idea when it's coming out.
Yeah,
All I know is that I don't know how I feel
I've
about it,
heard that
man.
it's supposed to be this year sometime, like December
I
or
hope
like
so.
November or December.
I hope
I hope so
so.
too. I kind of want to see it at this point, but
I hope so because I feel like and I need some new fantasy and like I don't feel like reading a book right now about
yeah.
fantasy. And this show doesn't look that great from the
Hmm.
first teaser we saw, but I'm interested to give it a chance. I'm really starting to like Henry Cavill and a lot and stuff. I don't think he's the best of the best, but I don't think he's the best actor for this particular role.
I mean, I think Mission Impossible for me really turned over the leaf where I was like, oh, he can actually
Oh,
act,
it
and
was dude. It was
he's decent.
Man from Uncle was what turned me.
Oh, Man for Uncle was good too. I
He
really
was
do
so
like
good
that
in
movie a
that.
lot. Yeah, I really do like that movie a lot. It's a fun movie.
Even Army Hammer. I mean, he was
Because I think Army Hammer at that point he'd only done like the Lone Ranger,
which
right?
sucked.
Which was a bad movie.
But
So
he was so good in that movie, so I was like,
yeah,
I'm down to give him a chance.
yeah.
Um, Clint Eastwood's new movie's coming out soon, based on a true story.
Right.
Richard Jewell was the Atlanta bombings.
I never even heard of these bombings.
I was surprised because I don't know much about them. I was
Yeah.
very surprised that the first time that I saw the trailer, I went to my podcast feed and went to Last Podcast on the Left and searched Atlanta, and I was like, they haven't done an episode on it. I was hoping they would have done it.
I feel like but they hadn't done it. Interesting.
I feel like they would have done it.
I feel like did they really not do a Richard Jewell episode? Interesting.
Because spoiler alert, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
it was someone else. He got, he was just a security guard who was doing the right thing, and then that's the whole point of the movie, is that he was doing the right thing, and he didn't
Right.
actually plant the bomb. It was some other guy who was a spree bomber.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe if I Google search the other guy's name, maybe the last podcast on the left, they did do an episode of the guy, but when I searched Atlanta, I didn't see the guy.
Interesting.
So there's that. And then I guess you want to talk about this new Refn stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about the Refn stuff. So that was interesting. So Refn is doing a new series for HBO, I guess. He's doing Maniac Cop, which I don't know too much about, but I mean it's definitely off Refn's alley, where it's, crime story, killer who's taking on the uniform of a cop, goes around, is doing serial killings. It's a series which is interesting just because I feel like his last series didn't do too well. I haven't watched it yet, but you watched like the first 2 episodes or something, right? And it was like too slow for you.
Look, man, I like slow burns.
Yeah.
This show, or that show, all it did was have pans and zooms for like 2 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Like, irrelevant. Like, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Just make it just make Drive again. How is it so hard? How does this guy make... Nick Refn is only 1 tier above Neil Blomkamp. Neil Blomkamp has one good thing. Bunch of stinkers. Nick Refn has 2 good things. Bunch of stinkers. Uh-oh. Zach, I think I lost you. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Yep, I'm good. I'm back.
Hopefully the recording still works.
I think so. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll have to see.
I think I'm officially done with Refn, man. Like, I'll check it out, but I no longer have any hope for the guy's content because I think it's all bad now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's really made anything that's been like universally loved like Drive since Drive.
No, that's it. That's it.
I feel like people like Neon Demon, but I haven't watched that yet.
Neon Demon is so bad. It's bad? So divisive. No. It's not a good movie. Only God Forgives. Yeah. Bad, not good.
Yeah.
The documentary about him that his wife made, that was good because it was a documentary about him making a movie.
Yeah.
But his work has sucked since 2011.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's almost 10 years at this point.
So let's go ahead. Oh, also, real quick, Kevin Feige's working on Star Wars. That's all.
Oh, and there's the Black Manta from Aquaman is in the Matrix 4, apparently. He's the new main character, I think, or something like that.
Is he the one?
I don't know if he's the one. He's either that or he's like young Morpheus or some weird-ass shit like that, but he's in Matrix 4 now, so...
Isn't it a prequel? Not a sequel? Or isn't it a sequel?
I haven't heard anything about a synopsis yet. I just know that it's happening, so I don't even know if it's like a prequel sequel or something like that. I would hope it's a sequel. I really don't want a prequel.
Alright. I mean, I'll watch it either way.
Yeah.
2022? That's a long time away, man.
Yeah. Long time, dude.
Well, let's go ahead and move into...
the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, we zipped through some of the news because, one, I'm sick.
Yeah.
We're doing the thing. We're officially 10... Oh, also, I have big news I'm going to mention real quick. I'll mention it after this.
Okay. Okay.
We are officially 10 weeks out, I believe, from Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. So our goal is we're going to hit, for the next 10 weeks, consecutively. Hopefully.
That's what we're working on.
We're trying. We're going to
try that weekend. That week I'm moving, I'm going to try. So We'll see.
We're going to review every episode, every movie of Star Wars until Rise of Skywalker. And we're going to fit in Mandalorian in there.
Yeah.
That's the plan. And we're starting today with Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Now, real quick,
first chronologically, but not the first in the series.
Right. I texted Zach yesterday saying I had big news.
Yes.
I'm going to now divulge my big news today.
Tell me.
On this podcast. Zach, I'm officially excited for Episode 9.
What the fuck? What the? Who are you? What have you done with Jason?
Here's why.
Tell me.
Because the Mandalorian.
Okay. Okay.
That's literally it. I'm finally
Okay.
excited for Star Wars again
Because of the Mandalorians
because of the
coming.
Mandalorian, which
Okay.
in turn gets me excited to watch the fucking finale
Okay.
of this
Interesting.
trash series,
This trash trilogy.
so Kevin Feige can come in and just make it better.
That's true. I am excited for his new Star Wars film.
Because I tell you what, man,
I hope it's its own thing and he has nothing to do with D&D's bullshit. I'm no longer excited for their Star Wars series at all because they fucked up Game of Thrones. They fucked up that, then they're just gonna fuck up something else. So
I just need Kevin Feige to come in here and marvelize it.
yeah, for sure, dude. That's
I
what we
mean,
need.
if you're gonna give me a movie every year and a half, 2 years,
Make it Marvel movie.
make it Marvel style.
Yeah. There's no reason it shouldn't be. Marvel
Exactly.
style would work great in the Star Wars universe. There's no reason it wouldn't translate just as well.
As long as I don't have an episode 10, Star Wars episode 10, the downfall of Rey is what it's
Yeah.
called or whatever. As long as that movie, I don't have a bunch of girls come together and they say like, I got her back, and then they like fight or some bullshit. That shit was stupid in Marvel, man, and the Avengers.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for episode 9. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited to see how it ends.
Okay.
I'm honestly excited to see how the fuck they wrap this bullshit up.
I am interested to see this dumpster fire and how they finally just send it off the cliff.
Right, because you have to wonder, like, yo, y'all opened fucking Pandora's box last movie,
Yeah.
so I need to know how J.J. Abrams has to come in here and fucking put a bow tie on that motherfucker, because
Yeah.
this shit's gonna suck.
It's gonna be a stinker for sure.
If the first 30 seconds of your
nothing
trailer,
they do can I don't think anything that they can do can fix what is the damage that has been done well enough.
exactly, and I think to me, my gut reaction, which has no legitimacy to my gut reaction, just my gut reaction. If your first teaser trailer has 25 seconds of Rey in a desert doing a backflip over a TIE fighter, you got nothing.
Yeah. Well, your second trailer was fucking a minute long of every other movie in the fucking series.
Right. Hey guys, remember what you guys liked? Yeah, we don't got that in this one.
Remember you guys like that other shit? Don't worry about The Last Jedi. That's like 5 seconds of footage.
'Cause
But you remember all these other 6 movies that you guys liked?
Because you know what Marvel does? Marvel does that in the opening credits, but it says Marvel. They go, hey,
Yeah.
look at all these things that you liked. Here's
Yeah.
2 hours of things you're gonna like too.
Yeah.
Star Wars goes, hey, we're gonna put in our actual trailer things that you used to think were good, and
Yeah.
then how we just said, nah, we're gonna shit
Fuck
on
that
it.
shit.
So we're reviewing episode 1,
Correct.
and I want to ask you, Zach,
All right.
how have you felt about episode 1 since 1998, 99 when it came out? I forget which one it was. I think it's 99. How have you felt about it growing up? How did you feel about it when you were a kid when you saw it, if you were a kid when you saw it? How do you
Yes.
feel now after rewatching it? And how do you feel about it in its place in Star Wars film history?
So when I was a kid and I was watching it, I loved the shit out of it because I loved fighting with my brothers and I loved doing the spinny shit with the lightsabers and everything like that. And that shit was super fun. And I liked pod racing as a kid because I thought that shit was super fun and I didn't know any better. And yeah, no, I mean, as a kid, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I enjoyed the original trilogy a lot as a kid. There's a lot of stuff for kids to like in that original trilogy. As a dumb kid, I liked Jar Jar Binks. I thought he was funny in my dumb kid humor. As a teenager, I realized this movie was not that good. And so that opinion changed. But rewatching it now, I don't think it's awful. I definitely got bored watching it at parts. I think this movie has the fact about this movie is that it's boring in a lot of parts because George Lucas tries to set up a lot, and with him trying to set up a lot in this movie, there's just a lot of dialogue that I don't care about. But it's interesting to see that like he definitely was trying to set, like, this movie isn't a throwaway. There's definitely stuff that he's setting up, all the stuff with Palpatine, which I don't even know, because I was thinking about it, and it's like, especially if you know, like, that he becomes the Emperor, it's very heavy-handed. All this stuff with, like, the Senate and, like, his, like, weird power grabs and, like, manipulating the Queen to, like, do the vote of no confidence and all that other shit. So it's very, like, clever stuff, but, like, I couldn't remember, like, if you'd watched the 4, 5, and 6. Is he ever referred to as Emperor Palpatine, or is he just referred to as the Emperor?
I think just the Emperor.
Yeah, so there was, like, so, like, not knowing that, it seems kind of like it was almost heavy-handed, where it was
Yeah.
like, especially where it was like the shot that stood out to me that was heavy-handed was specifically at the end, like when they're at Qui-Gon's funeral and they're burning his thing or whatever, and they have that they have that dialogue between Mace Windu and Yoda, and they talk about the fact that Darth Maul is dead, and they have that bit where they, like, it's always in twos.
Uh-huh.
And so they bring up the question of, like, which one died, the apprentice or the master, and then they have that wide shot where it has, like, fucking Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then Padme, and then in the very forefront, like right in your fucking face, is fucking Palpatine.
Yeah. I I didn't know it was Palpatine until my dad told me.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching, like, Attack of the Clones when it came out when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my dad was like, "That's the Emperor." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the fucking Emperor." And I'm being like, "Nah,
Damn.
nah." He goes, "It's." I guess, dude. I guess as an adult, like, it's super clear. Like,
Yeah.
in the beginning of this movie, first off, as a kid, I didn't read the scroll.
Yeah. No, I
I
didn't
didn't read
the
the
scroll.
scroll, so I have no context for what's going on. As a
Yeah.
kid, I remember watching this in theaters, being like, "I don't know what a blockade is. I don't know what
Yeah.
taxes are. So I have
Yeah.
no idea what's happening or what's the conflict or why the Jedi are there. I have no idea." But then as an adult, you read it and you see how, like, okay, if the scroll says that Supreme Chancellor, whatever the fuck his title is, Chancellor Palpatine, has sent the Jedi to.
No, because it actually doesn't. It doesn't, because he's not the Supreme Chancellor yet. It just says the Supreme Chancellor has sent the Jedi.
Right.
Because at that point, he's still the senator. Like, he has no power.
Well, it says the Chancellor has sent the Jedi to the whatever, the blockade to negotiate.
Right, for negotiations.
And I was like, okay, so is that, did Palpatine send him? And then 10 minutes later, they call Sidious. I'm like, the motherfucker. Did he send them and then be like, hey? Like, it made it seem like it was so obvious as an adult watching it. But as a kid, I thought this movie was such a fun time. And I always hated pod racing.
I didn't mind it a lot as a kid, but as I grew over, I definitely started hating it. And watching this movie again, I was like, why am I spending 45 minutes on something that,
oh my god,
matters nothing to the overall story besides the fact that they get the money for the hyperdrive part. But it's also something that never gets brought up again ever in Star Wars canon ever. Pod racing is never brought up again.
You don't think that a Jedi, give me the hyperdrive piece, nah,
yeah,
just cut his head off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what a Jedi would do, dude. Protecting the fucking galaxy, one dead person, a Jedi would do that.
Yeah.
A Jedi would do that.
So, a slaveholder? Yeah, a Jedi would fucking do that.
You know, that was stupid. How long they take to build the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then, now, hold on. I will say this. For 20 years ago,
CGI looks pretty good.
That pod racing looks great.
Yeah. Its CGI looks pretty good.
It looks really great. Irrelevant to the movie. Irrelevant. Yeah. How do you feel about the acting across the board?
So,
what stands out?
I think the two standouts are definitely Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor. Those are the two.
God. Dude, you're 100% right.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think those are the two biggest standouts. I know you're a Natalie Portman fan, but I honestly didn't like her that much. I just don't mind. I don't really like Natalie Portman that much as an actor. I think she's pretty neutral in everything that she's in.
Well, it's fine because
But
you have bad taste. It's fine.
yeah, it's fine. But so that I think the kid that plays Kid Anakin fucking blows. I hate
Yeah.
everything that he's in. I think he's a wooden fucking actor. He's like literally the worst kid actor they could have fucking picked to play one of the key characters in your universe. Um, Overall, I mean, those are the big ones. Is just Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson. Those are the two biggest ones
You know
as far as acting goes.
the moment I knew that they were so good at acting
Hmm.
was when when they were like playing bad cop with Jar Jar.
Yeah,
I was like, man, you would think that these guys had Oscars,
yeah.
which I'm pretty sure Liam Neeson had one already.
I think he did.
Didn't
Does
he
Ewan
already?
McGregor have one?
No, he doesn't have one. But didn't Liam Neeson already have one for Schindler's List?
I think so. I think Schindler's List was before Star Wars.
Oh, it was 6 years before that.
Yeah, no, he definitely got one for
Yeah,
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List was 1993,
Yeah,
I think. No, I think those are the two big standouts. And even though I love Natalie Portman, yeah, she's whatever in this movie. She's 17 years old,
yeah.
16 or whatever the fuck.
It's also super strange. I don't know. This movie has the weird thing where it's like we were talking about the taxes stuff, where it's like it's got stuff that's for kids, and
Yeah.
it's like you got the Jar Jar and shit like that, and it's like also like as soon as Jar Jar showed up, I was like, fucking goddamn it! Now I've got to be stuck with this fucking asshole for the rest of the movie, and he's so shoehorned in there too. Like watching it as an adult, I realized how shoehorned he is into there, where it was like there really was no reason to bring them along at all. Because especially there was like the one reason that they brought him out of Gungan City, it was like, oh, we need a navigator. They don't use him to navigate at all, and then Qui-Gon uses the Force to find the way to Naboo, and I was like, why are you bringing Jar Jar? You did not need this fucking bullshit ass piece of shit character.
My big complaint with Jar Jar isn't that he's racist or that he's an annoying character, because even the Viceroy characters, whatever the fuck they're called, Viceroy, I don't know
Racist
what they're called.
Asians, dude.
Racist Asian characters, right? Jar Jar is so annoying as a
Yeah,
character that you forget that he's CG.
yeah,
That's how good the CG is.
yeah,
You're like, yo, fuck that guy. Like he's
yeah,
real. Right? So that all the graphics look great. On the Gungan City looks fantastic. The Gungans
yeah,
look great. Jar Jar Binks as a character looks great in terms of 20 years ago of CG.
yeah,
He's just actor is just fucking annoying.
yeah,
Um my biggest issue with this movie, besides the fact that the storyline, like you said, George didn't know where to go.
yeah.
Kids or adults, he couldn't pick one.
Yeah, he was because like I was saying, like he brings up the Jar Jar shit, but then like the beginning of the movie is about like fucking tax disputes. Like
Right.
that's not for kids.
Well, the first thing that the fucking Viceroy character says is like, a blockade is perfectly legal. What
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck legal. What the fuck is
You're
legal?
talking about fucking what's a blockade? Like I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck a blockade is.
Yeah,
My big issue with this movie, besides the fact that the story's kind of all over the place, is that they've really, I hate droids, man.
you don't like the droids? I love the droids. as
I
a kid.
wish
I
that
don't
they were
like
fucking
I don't like the
stormtroopers.
standard droids, but I love the droid Dakar things, the Rolly droids. I love those
Yeah.
things. Those things are rad as shit.
Master, destroy us.
Yeah,
First off, real quick.
yeah,
Having watched 4, 5, and 6 a lot as a kid before this movie came out,
right,
like wearing out my special edition tapes,
right.
not one moment did I see Darth Vader fucking do a speed run.
Yeah.
So if I'm
Dude,
watching this
so
movie,
much good fucking Force lore in this that's like not even explained. They just fucking do it.
there's fucking force
Which-
jumps.
It was great. That was a great instance of Lord George doing great world building just through showing shit. Was like the speed run that happens at the very beginning, lots of force jumps and shit like that. Much
you're
more
tell-
casual use of like mind powers and like how it doesn't work on like certain people and shit like that. So
So you're telling
yeah.
me that like if Luke didn't leave Dagobah to go to Cloud City, like Luke
Yeah.
could have been like out there like fucking flashing it through the woods, like
Yeah, dude. Fucking going down a hallway in like a half a second and then like doing force jumps and like yeah.
My big issue is like I remember when I first got into the Star Wars novels, they like have force abilities out the ass.
I know, and it's great. I love force abilities. They're so
like-
sick.
Jason Solo, like Darth Canis, can like force walk, which like he can like walk in the past. Like you're like Luke could barely get X-wing out of swamp.
Yeah,
Like you fucking have these dudes like jumping off buildings and shit,
yeah,
dude. Like the most you
ah,
guys like force lightning. Oh my god, force
yeah.
lightning. You can like do like force mind
Force choking,
control. You know, so
yeah,
it didn't like you didn't really see these things from the movies that the books were talking about.
yeah,
Um, but I think the story itself is so scatterbrained,
yeah.
but there's so many highlights of the movie that I think are good.
There's some pretty big highs. There's some boring lows, but the highs are pretty fucking high in this
I
movie.
think every time a lightsaber is ignited,
Yeah,
I'm pretty into it. I
yeah,
again, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, that these movies do so much for world building that are done on the back end.
yeah,
Like you just you see the Gungan city and go, oh man, that's a whole fucking separate city. Now you don't see a
yeah,
lot of the Gungan city,
yeah,
but you see it and you see Naboo. You're like, oh shit, Naboo, man. And you get these fucking Asian aliens. You get the fucking robots. You go
yeah.
back to Coruscant, right? Yeah, you go to
Coruscant.
Coruscant.
Yeah.
You see the Jedi Council building. You see the city and the landscape. You see so much.
See the Senate and the Republic.
And if you skip ahead to the next movie, you get to see Coruscant a nightlife. Like you
Yeah,
see so much of the world that you did not get with the first three movies.
right.
That I think people forget that there's building blocks to a universe which
Yeah.
you don't get in the new movies. You don't get building blocks. You
No,
get locations. You don't get building blocks.
it's
Which I
all the new movies all just take what's already been done and try to repurpose it, but it's like a bad repurposing.
100%. My favorite part of Phantom Menace is not even fucking Darth Maul. 'Cause I don't give a shit about Darth Maul.
I love Darth Maul, dude. He fucking popped that second blade, and I was like, whoo! Just like
Don't
I
even
was a kid.
care, man. My
Love
favorite
it, dude.
part of this movie, man.
Natalie Portman.
I mean, yeah. Especially when I was a kid, man, I
Yeah.
loved her, man. Um, the Naboo like scene is great.
Hmm.
Anytime I see Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon being just banter,
Yeah.
you don't get that in Star Wars, really.
They have a good rapport, yeah.
Very good banter. I hope in the series, the Obi-Wan series or whatever the fuck it's
Hmm.
gonna be, that he
Oh yeah,
talks
he
to
talks to the
space,
Force Ghost.
talks to
Yeah.
Force Ghost. I really hope he talks to. I hope they get Liam Neeson to be a Force Ghost or something, or at least just his
Dude, that'd be
voice.
dope. They need to do that.
And just have him like talk to Obi Wan. Like I think that would be really great. Even though Obi Wan's supposed to be cut off from the Force, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's parts of the movie like obviously I love the fights. I think the Darth Maul fights are really great.
Yeah.
Now choreography wise, they're stupid. They're dumb.
So it's over the top, but I mean it's flashy and it's fun to
If
watch.
you watch like breakdowns of the fight scenes, I watch a lot of corridor videos on YouTube. They have like
Hmm.
a stuntman react video,
Hmm.
and they were breaking down the throne room scene from Last Jedi, and
Yeah.
they're playing it in slow motion, and people are just spinning for no reason, and like it's
Yeah.
like,
It's
and
great, dude.
you get that a lot in this movie because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be flashy and over the top and fancy. Um, but my question still stands, which is what's the percentage? Even though we apparently, according to leaks, remember, according to leaks, that the double bladed lightsaber ray is supposed to be a vision.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like a vision, yeah.
But if that's real, what's the percentage that lightsaber gets cut in half and she wields both ends? It's pretty high.
I'm still saying if that's real and it gets cut, it's I'd say 95% chance it gets cut in half.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the worst part of Phantom Menace?
The midichlorians for sure.
Why do you think that though?
I don't like it because it doesn't make any sense because it takes away from the whole thing of just the Force in general and of the fact that like the Force is genetic is so it's such a strange concept to me. It doesn't make any sense. I like the Force much more of like the Force being an act of will from the universe that gets like forced upon people. Like the whole fact of like a prophecy and there being like a chosen one and he was like born this way because he has a certain cell count is it's so weird and strange and like so out of left field.
I think I mean for a long time I never really cared about midi-chlorians.
Yeah.
I mean I don't think they're good. I don't think it's good storytelling because
Yeah.
I think what it does, and this is what my dad told me as a kid. We talk about it.
Hmm.
It removes the mysticism
Yeah.
away from the Jedi. Like if you watch 4, 5, and 6, you would think Jedi's are like they're space wizards with like
Yeah.
an undaunting power that you can't even measure.
Hmm.
And 1, 2, and 3, you see that they really are a police force.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're like space cops,
Yeah.
right? Which is great, fine. But you still have this religious aspect to them of if you read the books and break down more that there's different types of force theology. Like
Hmm.
Yoda and Qui-Gon had two completely different force theologies.
Right.
Like Qui-Gon was a
I liked
hippie.
having that little bit of like, because I didn't remember that much as a kid, but like having that bit of like discontent and like conflict within like the different like Jedi, especially like the Jedi
Right.
Masters, was cool to see.
Well, you get that in the beginning of the movie where Obi-Wan is talking about feelings and like I have a bad feeling about this, and
Yeah.
Qui-Gon's like, well, you should just kind of be in the present, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, Master Yoda says this. Well, clearly they're giving you some subtext here that there's differences in how the Force users and the
Yeah.
religion or whatever they believe in this stuff. But I think that when you break it down to having it be a chromosome thing, it removes all of that air out of the mysticism and makes it go, okay, well, you couldn't be a master Jedi Knight because you were two negative two midi chlorians.
Yeah.
If you had
It's
those
so
two,
dumb.
if you had those two extra ones, you would have been fucking great. But since you
Also, it
didn't have
takes away the
those,
whole aspect of like, because it goes back to the whole thing where it's like you have to be born with it, and so it takes away. Because I don't know. When I always think of Jedi, I feel like it's a thing where it's like you might have some innate like talent for it or something like that, but it's also something where it's like if you work really hard and you like want to be a Jedi and it's something that you like try to pursue and you like have a sense of like justice and what you think is right, then like I feel like it's something that you could like work yourself into. I
well,
don't
and
know.
I always took it as this, and this could have been written down somewhere that I read, but I don't remember. But I don't remember. It could have been in a Star Wars book or something, but I always thought that when Yoda says, and even with Anakin,
Mm.
and with Luke too, when they say, "Oh, much too old,"
Yeah.
much too old, right? He says it to Anakin and to Luke. They say, "You're too old. I can't
Yeah.
do it." I always took it as not that he's too old because he can't learn, but
He's
because
too
too old
developed.
because if like you are old enough to get this power, you would be much easier to corrupt because you
Mm.
go into the power having desires already. Like you would
Mm.
have like, okay, if I'm 16, I get the Force. Well, it's immediately dark side
Yeah.
because I want more power, more strength. But if I'm a young person, I have no concept of desire, no concept of
Mm.
more. So you can be on the light side of the Force, right?
Interesting.
That's how I always took it because if you're an orphan and you are left, you're taken from your family because you're a Force user, which is what Jedi's did,
Yeah.
and you're 5. You don't care about having more power.
Right.
You just want to use the Force to push the broom,
Yeah.
right? So, but if you add in the fact that you're too old, but you also have a high midi chlorian count, like what the fuck does that matter?
Yeah.
What does that matter? So I thought that he was too old. Anakin was too old, which is why he corrupted so easily.
Mm.
Because he was old. He was older. He fell in love before he became a Jedi, so he
Yeah.
already had passion and desire. So you
Yeah.
could not remove that ability to not love from the because like obviously Obi-Wan even says it all the time. Like Jedi don't get married. Jedi
Yeah.
don't have family. We're essentially space priests.
Yeah.
So Anakin had all that before he even got a lightsaber.
Right.
So that's how I took the whole age things. Like you already have all this other previous baggage.
Mm.
That's why they're saying the whole
I could
too
see
old
that.
thing. But the mini chlorian thing just takes it and goes, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So that definitely as a rewatch as an adult,
Yeah.
it definitely bugged me more. This rate Darth Maul in this movie.
As far as comparing him to other Sith Lords?
other Sith Lord as a bad guy, threatening as a menace. Wink, wink. How was he?
I think compared to other Sith Lords, um, I like him more than Dooku and Grievous. Um, he's not as good as Vader, obviously. Um, I think he's about up there with Kylo Ren for me. I don't know, because I like Kylo Ren in the new movies. He's probably like the only redeeming part of the new movies that I like actually enjoy is Kylo Ren and that character. Because he's the only one that has like a fucking arc. Um, so I mean, I would. The thing is that the thing that takes away from Darth Maul for me, specifically if we're looking at this movie, is there's not really much to the character in this movie. He's just like a he's not really an antagonist. He's more of like an object to be moved past.
Yeah.
He's something in the way. He's not really a character. Um, I mean, they talk about the fact that he's like a Sith apprentice or something like that, but he has like 2 lines of dialogue in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
So there's not really much there for you to like be invested with him as a villain. I mean, he's got the fucking sickest lightsaber I've ever seen. I love his dual-bladed lightsaber. That ship is it's dope. But as far as like an actual villain, there's really not much there.
Yeah, I completely
to really
agree.
to really work with. So that's probably one of his biggest faults on my part. As far as this movie, I think he's about what he needed to be. I don't know. I don't really know if we needed like a legit villain because you had all the other shit with like the fucking trade disputes and all the stuff with trade federation. So they took more of the role of like the overall antagonist. But then it's really like they're being, puppet mastered by the emperor, and so I don't know. It's hard to really know what to think about him overall. I don't know. I like him, but there's not much to him. So
I think that they needed to remove pod racing and give 2 or 3 more encounters with Darth Maul and give him an actual character.
Well, that's the problem, is that like really the first time they even notice him is not till after the pod racing, which at that point is like over an hour and a half into the fucking movie.
Exactly. They need to give him something where you actually feel like he's a threat.
A phantom menace.
Because even if I see him battling 2 Jedi by himself, okay, cool, he's good at fighting, but I need to know why he's.
You don't really see him use the Force at all,
real quick,
other than
why
like
is
he opens
he
a
there?
door. Yeah.
What is he? The whole real quick, like says here, why is he there? What's he doing?
At Naboo?
Yeah, what's he following them for?
Well, he was. He went to Tatooine because he wanted to find the Queen to sign the treaty, so that the what's it? The occupation of Naboo was like legal,
right?
And so that's why he's like chasing them to Tatooine. I guess he's chasing them to Naboo for like the same thing, because like I guess they still don't technically like have her in their power at that point.
I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. Well,
I don't know.
Okay.
He kind of just shows up.
On a scale, any scale you prefer, what would you rate this movie?
On a number scale, I would probably rate it at. I'd probably like a 5.5.
Out of 10.
Like it's out of 10. It's like slightly above average.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not awful. It's fine.
I would also give it probably like a 5.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. I think what we should do is have a full ranking.
Okay.
At the end of our mass review. Because
rank all of the 10 movies in order of our most favorite to least favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, guys, that's this week's episode of the podcast.
There it is.
Look, man, I am sick as shit.
Yeah, dude. I can hear it. Hear it in me.
I have my mouth is so dry.
Yeah.
I'm just so nasally and sick. But we'll see you guys next week with more a podcast. Hopefully next week. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all back next week with more Lessons to View. And hey, more Star Wars. Attack of the Clones next week, baby.
Yeah, episode 2,
I
baby.
think it's the longest one.
Is it the longest one? I feel like Revenge of the Sith is pretty fucking long.
It might be. I think Attack of the Clones. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Next week we have next week we can look forward to clone building.
Yes.
Jango Fett.
Giant alien lady who's way too skinny.
My favorite Natalie Portman costume.
Oh yes. Cool monsters with not really much purpose in the gladiator arena.
Assembly line fight.
Yes, those weird bug aliens.
Yeah, we can see really great nightlife scene where they kill
that sweet assassin scene.
The assassin scene with the nightsticks.
Yes.
Death sticks.
The great scene of Anakin slicing a pear with the Force. That fantastic scene.
Thanks, guys. We'll check you back next week, guys.